Trevor Noah is a South African comedian, writer, producer, political commentator, actor, and television host. He is the current host of The Daily Show, an American satirical news program on Comedy Central. Born February 20, 1984, Johannesburg, South Africa. Nationality, South African. I lost contact with my father for many years because of apartheid. For, 6 years, I didn't see my dad. And, now, this was the 6 years of being a teenager. I was born in South Africa during apartheid, a system of laws that made it illegal for people to mix in South Africa. And this was obviously awkward because I grew up in a mixed family. My mother's a black woman, South African Xhosa woman. And my father's Swiss, from Switzerland. I always believed that funny is serious and serious is funny. You don't really need a distinction between them. I don't think I have thick skin, but I heal fast. It's easy to break through, but I heal fast. If you look at it, the history of comedy has always been strongest among the nations who have been persecuted the most. I want my audience to be my friends, that is when they will get the best comedy. If they see me as a performer, they won't get the best show. My mom used to get arrested for being with my dad. She would get fined. She would spend weekends in jail. Africa's not a color, it's a place. I live in South Africa. I'm proud to live there. I've always said I want to be a comedian from South Africa and the world. I will stay in places for a bit here and there and pop into New York for a while, maybe stay in London for a year, but my home will always be South Africa. I enjoy it too much. We've got so many different cultural groups in my family that I've had to learn to accommodate them in different ways. My father speaks different to my mom. My mom speaks different to my grandmother. Everybody speaks different, so you find you start tweaking your language to be more accessible to people. I'm literally driving in the middle of the night, and my phone rings, and my manager says, "How would you like to be the host of The Daily Show?" I get out the car, and I didn't have legs. You know in those movies where there's an explosion? But instead of the sound of the explosion, you hear the silence. That's literally what happened. During my New York run, I injured my voice badly. I was getting increasingly hoarse, and it finally gave up. The doctor said I had two choices. Either cancel things, or try my luck and perhaps never speak again. That's not much of a choice. If I'm doing something on stage, and it evokes an emotion, then I might show that emotion, but I also don't believe in being a preacher. If you have a point, that's a bonus. But the funny has to come first, otherwise, you shouldn't call yourself a comedian. Nobody owns comedy. Nobody owns a premise. Nobody owns an idea. I was doing a show at the Comedy Store which Eddie Izzard saw, and we chatted for a bit afterwards. I didn't really know he was, we just hung out as comedians together, and when he heard my story, he said, "Why don't you tell that on stage?" I didn't really want to burden people with all that, but he said that I could have fun with it.